Hello, good evening and welcome to the news. I am Saja Brito. Coming up this evening, Gambians and non-Gambians sent to Tropical Garden Hotel following their arrival into the country. And British High Commission and the Kanifing Municipal Council launch a project to support market vendors. Grade 9 students finally resume classes today, and new restaurant, nightclub and bar association hold a press briefing. But first we'll begin with the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting that government issues a position on gay rights, and Dusano tackles Dabo on URR Banjul projects, and Gambia, Senegal agree not to extradite political offenders. And of course, Tourism Ministry reacts to $38 million scandal. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Government issues position on gay rights. The Gambia government has spoken for the first time on the raging gay rights debate in the country. In a statement signed by spokesperson Ibrahima Sankare yesterday, the statement stated that in the wake of the simmering controversy surrounding gays, lesbians, bisexuals and transgender in the Gambia, the government of President Adama Barrow wants to make it absolutely clear that neither President Barrow himself nor any member of his government, its envoy, agent or representative has ever signed, consented to, participated in or even pretended to support any deal, package, program or agenda for the promotion of LGBTQ rights as is being falsely reported on the news and social media platforms. And Dusano tackles Dabo on URR Banjul projects. Presidential advisor has described as disappointing recent comments by his one-time political mentor and leader of the United Democratic Party, Honorable Seinu Dabo. The UDP leader recently suggested in a media interview that while the current Chinese road projects in the URR may be necessary, they should not have been prioritized over other places in much their need of help or in much their need of roads. He was quoted as saying that there are some places with such a horrible road condition that when you travel there on Wednesday, you don't get back until another Wednesday, Dabo said in an exclusive interview. Gambia, Senegal agree not to extradite political offenders. The Gambia-Senegal extradition agreement will not apply to politicians who seek asylum in the two countries for political offenses. Minister of Justice Abubakar Tambadou on Monday tabled the Gambia-Senegal agreements on extradition, mutual legal assistance in criminal matters, assistance to detained persons and transfer of sentenced persons at the National Assembly for ratification. Meanwhile, Tourism Ministry reacts to $38 million scandal. The Tourism Ministry has rubbished rumors on social media that it has mismanaged over 38 million Gambian dollars. In a press statement debunking the rumors, the Tourism Ministry said those monies were actually earmarked for construction of eco lodges. It said the Ministry of Tourism and Culture wishes to inform the public that rumors circulating on social media of a $38.5 million scandal is totally false and unfounded. Ex-Prisons Commissioner claims unlawful dismissal. Former Prisons Commissioner has yesterday told the TRRC that his unlawful dismissal was influenced by the former Solicitor General Pahari Jammeh, late IGP Benedict Jammeh, and former Prisons Director David Colley. Ali Cisse, a former GPS acting director of operations, said his victimization stemmed from an incident with inmate Soriba Konde, who was at the time a star prosecution witness during the trial of Ensa Baji. UDP says Sirifo Sonko is ungrateful. The UDP has described as an ingratitude call by the estranged chairman of the Brikama Area Council for the party's executive to resign. The party also said its attempt to expel the BSC chairman are due to popular demand. Sirifo Sonko has, towards the end of last week, dispatched a letter to the UDP in which he advised the party executive to step aside for allegedly contravening its laws as it attempts to expel him. Sonko in his letter also accuses the UDP executive of victimization as he believes the attempts for his expulsion from it was a unilateral executive decision. That's it from the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at some of the stories on the point. Headlines are pretty much the same. Guided by values, government won't decriminalize homosexuality, and 4 jumped quarantine after flight landing. Tourism Ministry debunks alleged 38.5 million scandal. 4 jumped quarantine after flight landing. The Ministry of Health says at least 4 passengers out of the 140 who arrived in the country on the 22nd June 2020 with the SN Brussels flight escaped from quarantine. One of the 4 escapees, one surrendered to the health authorities. The second fugitive was reported by a neighbor and subsequently picked up together with her boyfriend, who smuggled her while logistic arrangements were in progress, the ministry states in a press release. That's it for the newspapers. Let's go for a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's now take a look at our stories covered by our reporters here. Tropical Garden Hotel is one of the facilities the government arranged for quarantine for people arriving in the country. About 60 passengers that arrived through an SN Brussels flight on Monday were sent to Tropical Garden Hotel in Fajara for a 14-day quarantine. A number of them are, however, not happy and have told the Fatu Network there is nothing in their rooms to make their stay in the hotel comfortable. Lamin Jai reports.
You don't have corona?
We don't have anything. We have
but you are among some of those people that have been sent here for quarantine.
Yes, please.
But what are because the information we are getting is that there are issues going on here in this quarantine center. What is going on here? What's your name, first of all?
My name is Gamo Gay. I'm from the United States. I'm working with the Norwegian Cruise Line. We came here like the day before yesterday, last night. You understand? We came with SN Brussels. We landed at the Banjul International Airport like 8:10, 8:15. You understand? Then from there, we were taken from the airport to our various hotels in the Gambia. We are very unfortunate that we are brought here into this hotel by the name Tropic Garden Hotel. You understand? So since we came here, the logistics and all what we have been told is not happening here. From the rooms, the food is a little bit better. We understand we are all Africans, Gambians for that matter. We can take the food. But the problem is like the housings. We were told by the people working down here that they take out the fridges, they take out the TVs, they take out everything before our arrivals. You expect somebody who comes all the way from US, Europe, and they like been there for a number of years or months. You come here under these hot conditions. You expect to have your lunch, your breakfast with a single gallon of water. That's the 1 liter that they give us. So when we make it as an issue, since last night together today with the radio station, what is the name of the DHK, if I make it a program today in the morning, and it's just now that they started bringing water everywhere. And we were been given each single every day since we came. So when we make it an issue, they start bringing water. Last night, somebody by the name Buba Manjang, he's a senior nurse, I don't know, doctor or whatever in the medical sector, who's working with these guys, came here and we explained our problems to him. We told him that we have a problem here, and our problem is like, we don't have anything here. We just have the empty rooms, and that's it. We don't even have room steward, somebody cleaning the rooms or these other things. We don't have it. We don't have fridge. We don't have network. Understand? We explained all our issues to him, and what he told us is, he don't worry about these things. You don't have it at your home. Why should you complain about it? You are in US and in Europe. You cannot come. We bring you. What do you want now? He talked to us in a very arrogant manner, in which we don't accept. We talk to him. We do everything. And today, when it was being put on a program station, he started calling the radio station, saying different things as what he spoke to us last night. So we definitely felt this very, very, very.
But what the government is claiming is that it is the only country in the Gambia where they rent out standard hotels.
I can give you our friends from Zimbabwe, South Africa, Jamaica, Grenada, Nicaragua. They are all working with us in the same company, the Norwegian Cruise Line in the United States. They were all given 5-star hotels. It's only the Gambia who don't. There are people here. We don't
how many of you are here?
How many of us? We are like 60-something people.
60-something?
Yeah, in this hotel, something like that. I don't even know the actual number, to be candid. But we are in different hotels. But why other hotels have all the facilities and we don't have it here? That's what we told Buba Manjang last night. And we spoke to him in a
But you said you brought they brought water. What else did they bring for you?
Nothing, absolutely. Still now they say they don't have fridges. And we spoke to the guys working in the hotel. They say that they have all the fridges packed. They pack all of them here. But if they are not given the right or the assurance to take it out and put it in our fridge in our rooms, they will not bring it. Talk less about networks. Still now they are saying Ninja Hargamtel.
So when you guys came, what the government also said was that among you there are some people that fled. Do you that escaped?
You also heard about things, but not our hotel here. We are very much cooperating. We are doing everything according to expectation. They are just saying that.
Wow.
maa ngi bàyyi ko ba Basse man suma dama ñëwoon fii barki démb laa fi ñëw maa ngi bàyyi ko Germany suma doom moo feebar ma demoon moom Germany since January 12 laa demoon foofu suma doom dafa naan soda pour gi am problème léegi ñu defal ko pipe fii si Gambia pipe boobu nekk nag moom 3 years gars yi defuñ si benn effort pour affaire pipe bi léegi benn tubaab dimbala ma yóbbu ma Germany pour mu toppatoo xale bi gars yi charge ma 40,250 euro pour opération bi léegi gars yi ne ma léegi da ngaa ñib si Gambia bay na am xaalis bi ñu xoolaal nga dégg démb ba ma ñëw si airport wàcc gars yi indi ma fii wax naa leen ma suma xale bi dafa am problème léegi xale bi lu may lekk mooy meew bala may ñëw gars yi dañ moo yónnee ay meew ñu naa laajte contact government bi ñu seen leen document bu xam ne xale bi lekkam yëpp dañ koy jëlee Europe indi ko fii document boobu xool naa ministre bi wax ak moom mu jàppal ma si document boobu mu ne ma moom dafa bii si amul joti lijjanti document boobu loolu la ma wax mën na ko docteur Samate man suma doom dafa feebar lekkam bi yow du yanu koy jënda den ma koy dimbale mu ñëw pour kayit boobu su ñëwee am fu mu jaar mu mën a jël suma ID card wala passeport dem jël bagage si xale yoolu yóbbu ko pour xale bi mën a lekka mu ne mu amul jot boobu tubaab bi dama dangay ñëw Gambie nga lijjanti loolu ñu jox ma meew about 1 week xale bi lu muy use ma ñëw gars yi téye ma fii war a nekk fi 2 weeks ma ne leen man du ma nekk fii ak sama doom for 2 weeks te maa ngi war a use meew bi for 1 week ma lijjanti kër bi nga yónnee ma yeneen bagage pour xale bi waaye léegi ngeen téye ma fii jox leen xale bi depuis barki démb ba léegi joxuñ xale bi mu lekk xale bi mu ngi toog na leen amul joxuñ ko dara joxuñ ko benn lekk man may tray rek lu ma jox moom laa ko use su jeexee fii man su li jeexee nag man naka laa war a def leen effort si lii ñu ne ma waaw démba ñu ne waaw aara suñ ménage bi ñëw mooy kii lu waaju xama naka la ko tuddati waaye docteur bi nag kii waaju naka tudda manager bi ku ñëw fi démb directeur bi Manjang ñëw fi Buuba Manjang ñëw fi mu ne ñi xaaral docteur ñëw mu ne ma léegi xaaral Manjang ñëw ñi may 419 si mbir yi xale baa ngi toog ba léegi ni amul dara lu mu lekk ma ne leen nag nu ma mëntu def su ma toogee ba ngoon dimbalee man dinaa def foot man ma ñibbi gos xale bi sonn na gos xale bi man dama war a dem di jëndi procès boo xam ne këyit bi naka la xale war a jotee lekkam. waaw
yow boo bëggee génn police yi ñu ngi fi yow naka ngay génne.
dama la danaa indi problème because du ma yore xale bu xamante ni lekkut yaa ngi dégg dafa métti si man.
te xale bi dafa feebar. You don't have corona.
Meanwhile, the head of the quarantine unit of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Buuba Manjang, has said the claims by the quarantine contingent that he was arrogant are not true. The doctor said the Ministry of Health is engaged in tireless efforts to ensure those in quarantine have the best accommodation and treatment. He said the Ministry of Health is here to serve their needs. Meanwhile, back to school as Ministry of Education announced resumption for grade 9 students. Mati Sengor was out today to talk to some of the teachers and those students starting classes today, and she now tells us more.
Hello there, and a warm welcome to another edition of the Fatina World News Review. Today we're here at St. Teresa's because the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education have announced that 22nd of June 2020, that's today, the schools will be resumed for the grade 9s. And we're here to have an interview with the students and the teachers about the effect of COVID-19 on the students. Do Stay with us to know more. Students in grade 9 returned to school on Wednesday after a 3-month COVID-19 enforced pause.
It really have an effect because most of us we are preparing for the exam to be like on May or June. So now after we are all seated at home and like the syllabus we in the school before the coming of this virus, we were even having these teachers were even striking. So and after that we were not able to complete our syllabus. We are not even half of it.
Well, to say it has a lot of effects on us because like having break, you were going to school and all of a sudden you have break for like 3 months staying at home. Not all of us will be able to say that, well, I have to study because I may resume so sooner or later. Though some of us will study, but not all of us will do. Some people will be like, it's boring. And even for me, staying at home, like you'll be waiting when is school going to open. We don't even know when you're going back to school. It was like waiting forever. It has a lot of bad effects.
The school's principal believes his students will do well in their exams despite the crisis.
But this time around is a different thing altogether because they have stayed for about 3 months. And it will be difficult, very, very difficult. Except actually like, some of our students actually who are very particular with their education. When they were living here, we told them we do not know actually when we are coming back. But then we told them to liaise with their teachers, using their email or the internet and so on, so that they can get the syllabus and also use that to work on the rest of the syllabus. But most of them actually were doing that, especially the A class. This class that you are seeing here is the best class, and these students here, they have been interacting through the media. They have been doing that, and they are set for right now. They are set.
Mr. Mendy also revealed that they were providing an online class for their candidates during the past months.
Obviously, the ministry did well, and quite a good number of them were responding to the e-learning. And I did spoke to some of them, and they said it was very interesting, and they were catching up. So obviously, it is like preparing them for what they are about to face, and that is the examination.
Well, viewers, we've spoken to the principal, a teacher, and also 2 students from St. Teresa's, and we've been told the effect of COVID-19 on them, and also we've been told that they have been observing the physical distancing that was put forward by the WHO. Reporting for the Fatina Walk News Review, I am Mati Senghor.
Welcome back. The Kanifing Municipal Council, with support from the British High Commission, on Tuesday launched a project that will provide market vendors with cold storage facilities to avoid their goods from getting spoiled. Umisol reports.
In order to weather down the impacts of COVID-19, the Kanifing Municipal Council, with the help of partners, thought it wise to come with cold storage facilities for market vendors, thereby guaranteeing lastingness of their products.
It's a project designed to help increase resilience and support livelihoods, particularly at these difficult times when access to markets and customers has been somewhat restricted. By providing the cold storage facilities, the women traders will be able to preserve their products for longer and hopefully have more opportunities for sales. What I'm also particularly pleased about with this project is that it is a renewable project, so the cold storage facilities will be powered by solar.
Kanifing Municipal Council officials said they have put in place the necessary mechanism for this year's rainy season.
Already there are some cleaning activities going on in our markets, at Serakunda Market, at Latrikunda. Over the weekend, the activity was led by one of the councillor at Latrikunda. Definitely, and there's this night cleaning that is going on a nightly basis. It's been on since the new administration came in. We are really prepared, and when it comes to disaster management, at this time of the year, we have also taken the necessary steps. We started with cleaning our drains. On the other hand, I would also like to appeal to the general public to join hands with the council to keep the environment clean. In as much as we would like to prevent them from going through all these difficulties during the rainy season, they also need to take some responsibility.
Musumeta Mane, representative of women vendors, says this initiative is timely for the outlining the challenges that women face.
Kato kabirin sanji muan nimfen fo sanji tan saba nimfen fo sanji tan nani ndol be firo ni sera kunda marsa kono nyunyon nema ko nyunyon kontano ko namanaji meyo le katan katan de janne bodo jang bari meyo yenyi men katan bi namano nyonje nakumbo siata nakumbo warta bari mammoje men kan nyafita ba ni menu nate yenyi nka membe keren kola foy ni nga foy ya dan tulla moyro le tela ajola yenyi nan tolla adun Sarakunda marse o Gambia musol belem marse o marse nabe Gambia banko la kanjang muso ba jembe be feferola mbe dimbala kunna sani nata yenyin kan na kola ya kola nga foy nganna kumbo da foy yeta mbuka fenjeje woto wolen na kumbo mende meta ka kumbo bara alhamdulillah rabbil alamin kabren amatal be ben suda sita ntolu Gambia musolu na kumbo mansia sako chemsi musolu ba ntolu buka sula fenna nin sula ta mew men na don jandin tolu balon na atala ka lon ko musolu sula ta yinale ngana je don katara sirin ko men nyunyon na fulan ba ko non enter sirin do yen kol yen fanye yen ko mandin nata nya fete nyen kayra ba kono adu wo jaman jamawlu itolu ko le ke tolu bukan tolu lahidi e ka kele molu nyaaje nim membe ko soma do be sotola bi ya fanyal na ngani sotole oto kake matere makolti oto yatande kon tolu KMC musolu Gambia musolu na kumbo bandale.
Storage facilities have long been a major problem for market vendors. This has for the past years been leading to significant income loss for market vendors as their goods perish within a short period of time. With the coming of this project, it is expected that vendors will enjoy more sales, thereby increasing their earnings. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Umisau.
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Brufut, 5 minutes off the Brufut Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and EcoBank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at TAF Brufut Gardens, opposite 5-Star Hotel.
And now, a new bar, restaurant and nightclub association have been formed by business mogul Hatib Jane and Co. This came following the formation of a similar association which was accused of sidelining Gambian players in the subsector. Let's take a look.
It's just having its maiden public function. You will hear more, of course, about it. So at this juncture, without wasting time, I call the Honorable Benjamin Roberts. He is advisor to the Gambia Bar, Restaurant and Nightclub Association to give us the objectives of this press conference. Honorable Roberts.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Let me take this opportunity to welcome each and every single one of you in your various capacities. Let me take this opportunity also to acknowledge, as is usually customary of Honorable Gaba Jahumpasise, who is here, and each and every single one of you, the media, bar, restaurant, and nightclub owners, the interim executive of the Gambia Bar, Restaurant, and Nightclub Association. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor to today have this opportunity to stand here in front of you to pretty much hold this press conference and help clarify on issues. There have been a number of misunderstandings, misgivings regarding the formation of an association that intends to bring all restaurants, bars, and nightclubs together in this country. But we would delve into those details as we move forward. First and foremost, we are holding this press conference to inform you, the media, in terms of the ongoing plans of bona fide Gambian and non-Gambian restaurant, bar, and nightclub owners. We're also holding this press conference to inform the media about the initiatives that have been undertaken by the current interim or information Gambia Bar, Restaurant, and Nightclub Association with the already existing Restaurant, Bar, and Nightclub Association, otherwise RBNA. I want us to clarify and distinguish between the two. You have the RBNA, which is the Restaurant, Bar, and Nightclub Association, which is already in existence, formed in a manner that is not all-inclusive. Then you have the ongoing, and this is the ongoing Gambia Bar, Restaurant, and Nightclub Association, which is what we are trying to form to include most of the bona fide owners of restaurant, bars, and nightclub associations in the Gambia, irrespective of Gambian or non-Gambian. I think that has to be made very clear from the onset. Yeah? The Gambia Bar, Restaurant, and Nightclub Association on the 7th of this month held a meeting, and they were represented by some of the people that you see up here. Myself as an advisor to the group, Hatib Jane, Seni Mane, Lamin Silla, and Mr. Aliou Cisse. We met with the executive of the RBNA. We met with Mehdi, we met with Dries, we met with Mark. And I believe those were the three representatives. Correct me if I'm wrong. And at that meeting, we had sought to try to harmonize and bring the two groups together. At that time, the GBRNA, which is what we represent, was not even formed yet. So the idea was to engage them and tell them that the manner in which they had undertaken to form the Restaurant, Bar, and Nightclub Association was wanting. It was wanting for two reasons. One, it was non-inclusive. Yeah? A group of people had come and they had taken the decision to form a group, created an executive, and they now wanted to invite other restaurant, bar, and nightclub association owners. At this time, constitution has already been formed. In my recollection and from basic knowledge, when you seek to form an association, the first thing that must happen is you have to invite like minds or people of similar interest to discuss the need for the creation of an association. And at that meeting, you conceptualize and agree on what the objective of that association would be. And from that meeting, that would now inform your memorandum and articles of association, and ultimately the constitution that would guide that association. So these were the lapses that we pinpointed out to them and told them that for that reason, it is non-inclusive, and the constitution that exists at the time would not in any manner entail the object for which an association was created. So we made a proposal to them, and we said, nullify the current Restaurant Bar Nightclub Association, nullify the executive, open up the invitation, let everybody come up, hold a general meeting, and at that general meeting, inform the bona fide Restaurant Bar and Nightclub Association members. Yeah? At that meeting, let them tell you, those members, what is it that they want this association to achieve on their behalf. And from there, come up with the memorandum and articles of association and ultimately create a constitution. And subsequently, I was asked by the GBRNA to engage with the chairman of the RBNA for us to iron out these proposals. Ultimately, correspondence came that they are not willing to let go what they have already started. And that was the time the decision was taken to say, okay, that being the case, let us now begin to form an association that is more representative. To give you an idea, the RBNA membership as of today stands at under 40 members. The GBRNA, which is still not information, we should understand this. A WhatsApp group has been created, and we are yet to have our first general meeting, but the people who have signed up and agreed to the manner in which we want to do this is currently about 120 people. So 3 times the size of the RBNA. I think it is important that we make this thing clear. Yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, we would now move into the next phase, of which I would allow the MC to take us from. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Benjamin Roberts. He is the chairman of, as he rightly said, the Gambia Bar, Restaurant and Nightclub Association. And I hope if you had been following, you would have understood now the situation that exists, which is the fact that there had been an organization calling itself RBNA and claiming to be representing all the bona fide members and stakeholders of the Gambian entertainment industry, if you like, bars, restaurants, and nightclub owners. Now, as you have said, they in the Gambia Bar, Restaurant, and Nightclub Association felt that that association definitely is not inclusive, as its formation was not after widespread consultations among its members, and they felt that an association of such should have a broader representation of the key players of that industry. And that they have engaged them to see whether they can come back to the drawing board and form an association that will have a national character. And he had, as you have said, they have not succeeded, as the other body insisted that they would not change. So, like he said in their consultations, already, even before they start, they have 120 members who have signed up to the idea that indeed a broad-based association should be in place rather than the one that has just been formed. And that's basically what he's been trying to say. They are not pushing and pulling with anybody. They just wanted an association that will be representative of all the key players in this sector. And now we move to 2 gentlemen in the presence of Seni Marina and Lamin Silla, both of whom had been members of this initial association, the RBNA, but have felt the need to resign from that after having realized that actually the association does not represent every stakeholder in the industry. So they will have their story to tell us here. First, I will call on Mr. Senimani to come forward. Mr. Mani.
Thank you very much, MC. I suffocate with this thing here. Thank you for coming, the media and my fellow friends here. It is indeed an honor to be part of the new association. I have resigned from the association because when the petitioners came to me with that list of so many people, I had no choice but to want to hear what they had to say, which I was in the board already as a spokesperson. And I think I told the board members, let's take this as an opportunity. If these people want to be part of the association, but they don't like the way we form it, let's give them a chance. Let's come together and, you know, do what we have to do. Our honorable here, just to clarify, he is in the capacity of my business as Swiss Group Gambia Limited, just to address conflict of interest here. He's here for that, and also our advisor. We had a meeting to rectify the situation. When we had the meeting, the chairman of the new association and our honorable here were tasked to see a solution for the way forward. And when nothing happened, I decided to send my resignation because I think I'm a Gambian and I own businesses, and I think it is fair to have people together. The association needs to be strong. And 40 members and 250 members, I mean, you cannot even start to think about it. I think I cannot say much here, but then I think later you will have questions and answers. But I feel I will not be myself if I would just continue in that association because it's not inclusive. You know, I'm a proud person, and you know, Gambians are very proud people. We don't take no for an answer. So, in that capacity, I said, we are going to have a meeting, discuss, and give them the chance to come together. When that didn't happen, I have to send my resignation. There is not much I can say to that. If you have any question later, please, you're welcome to ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mane. He is Seni Mane. And like I've said, he was one of the members of the initial organization who decided to resign and actually express their desire to have a general membership that will form an association that will be representative of everybody. And like he said, he had outlined just a little bit of the reasons why he had to take that step. And if you want to know more, you can, when it's time for question and answer comes. There's another man, Lamin Silla, who also was part of the initial one, but had to resign, I'm sure, because of similar reasons. But let's hear his story. Mr. Silla.
Good afternoon, everybody. And the media is well observed, and all other friends around. For me, this organization, when it was formed, I felt that I was handpicked because I had no chance to vote for the executive. And I was called by Seni for just a mere phone call to become part of the executive, which I felt that it was very unfair. For me, an organization should be all inclusive. And the moment I got that telephone call, I called Aliu Bey, most of the key players that I know. I called Aliu and I called Malafi, Timeless, and then to my surprise, when I came to this meeting, I already found members of the executive, and I was told that it was an executive meeting, which I felt that it was totally unfair. I have no chance to vote for the executive, and I have never been told that I was voted in an executive which I don't have no chance to vote for. So when I came to that meeting, after 2 meetings, I told them that after talking to some of the members, which I think they are key players within the industry, and I realized that none of them have been informed. So after they giving me their side of the story, the next meeting we had with the RNBA, I told them that we have some concerned people within that, informed me that they have never been told about this association and never been written to. So what I did was to talk to some of them, and then when they formed that group as petitioners, I signed on that petition, because I think, seriously, if you are going to organize any organization, it has to be all-inclusive. And I don't want to be part of any organization or association that is not all-inclusive. So for that matter, I was tasked to be part of the groups to try to bring the two groups together. We have a very faithful meeting, fruitful meeting for that matter, and then to try to bring the two, all these groups together to become one association. And after that meeting, we tasked the interim chairman and the chairman of that other association to try to come up together. And without no results on that, I just felt that I will never be part of any association that is not inclusive. So for that matter, I tender my resignation. Thank you.
The bona fide Gambian bar and restaurant owners thought that the manner in which the RBNA was formed was not inclusive. It is one thing to look at a body and say that the manner in which they have undertaken to form an association was not inclusive. It is another thing if you're trying to form an association to ensure that you do what is right and you create a body that is inclusive. In that regard, what we had sought to do from the onset was to say, because we all agreed that the time to have an association that brings all bars, restaurants, and nightclubs under one umbrella was long time overdue. This is a premise that we all agree on. The British are fond of saying it. Together, we stand strong. Divided, we fall. It's a reality. And having been in this industry, when I was approached to be in an advisory capacity, the first thing I said was, it's long overdue and it should be pursued vigorously. But what we said was, since one has been already created, let's go and meet with the one that has been created, but try to get them to understand that the manner in which it was done was wanting. And if at all there is willingness on their part to rectify that shortcoming. Yeah, then
thank you very much. My name is Buba Gajigo, here for Kerfadu. Now, I have several questions to ask regarding this. I guess when the former executive was forming the first RBNA, you people were around. So what was your reaction at that time before it was formed? That's the first question. The second question, who are these people? Are they Gambians? Who are these people? We want to know, we've been hearing from you, the former executive, but are they Gambian? Who are these people? Who are the majority among them? It's also, of course, accusation that they lobby for funds about this COVID-19. So, is it true that the funds were not used for its purpose? That's the third question. I have a lot of questions, those. I'm very sorry. So the last question that I will ask is about the people who are working in restaurants and bars, nightclubs. It's an accusation that most of the people they don't get paid, or they definitely the treatments that are meted on them is definitely not good, and you have so many accusations about that. Some people work for 1 month, they are sacked, and they are treated badly. What is this association going to do if you form to change this? Thank you.
Well, just to be clear, I think the gentleman first he wants to know what has been the reaction of these people when the initial association was being formed. Some of those things have been highlighted, I know. And he also wants to know who are these people being referred to as RBNA. Are they a special group of people who are they even Gambians, and who are they? And then he said also there were rumors that they in fact solicited funds or funding as a relief for COVID for the stakeholders in the industry. He wanted to know whether that was the case, and whether if there was any money, has it been used for the purpose intended. And then he also dealt with the plight of workers, employees in the industry who have claimed that they have not been paid, or they have not been fairly treated by their employees or whatever. I don't know whether Honorable Advisor would like to take this question. Or Mr. Alimu. Sorry? What happened? DJ, you want?
Afternoon to the press, afternoon to my colleagues, business owners, and all the well wishers that are here. First of all, I would like to thank everybody for coming in. I would like to go, first of all, to the first question, which is, if I'm right, you have to correct me, Mr. Cham. The reaction, we want to tell everybody that this was formed between 5 to 10 people. So our reaction was none, because we didn't even know this was formed. This was formed in like a small group, as I said, for all the businesses. That's what we are trying to do, to inform everybody, to tell people to come first before we form and select our executive. But when this group, RBNA, was formed, none of us didn't know here. So we had no reaction to it. We had a reaction after it was formed and we found out.
The other question, who are they?
Now, let me just be clear something. We are not trying to be racist. We are not trying to be segregatory. We are not trying to be nothing. We are trying to be business owners, whether you are Gambian, whether you are foreigners. We all look at it as everybody is investing in this country in one way or the other. As you are Gambian or not, you are contributing to the tourist industry and the Gambian economy at large. This group of people, from what we find out, and when we had the meeting, we challenged them to that. It's a whole group of Lebanese, Gambian or non-Gambians. And as I said, let us be correct on this. We are not trying to be racist, but we are given the scheme of the question asked. And when this thing came to us, it was transferred as there is a group of Lebanese restaurants, because Gambia is very small, and all of us knows each other and knows the restaurants that are here and the ownership. When we got information about this group, it was made that there's a whole bunch of Lebanese and European forming this group. Where are you guys at? Because in this industry, we are very much popular and very much have a business that has been a long time ago. So that's the formation of the group, and that's what we've got. And when we found out, we saw the same thing too. Yeah. And the group, when we have...
Let me just clarify that. Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, yeah? Because I'm more familiar with the other group. I just want to give you the breakdown of the group. The executive, they didn't want me to talk because me, I'm a straight shoot. You know, it's simple. I just want to give you that short listing. The executive of that group, the chairman, which is Mark, is Mehdi Bensouda of Aquarius Partner. I'm just trying to give you the breakdown. The vice chairman and vice chairman is Mandi at Gaia. Mehdi's another Lebanese, Mehdi's cousin. And Idris. Then you have the treasurer, which is Idris Bensouda, just for you to see the family listing. Then you have the secretary, which is who is the daughter of Mandi, the vice chairman. So that breaks it up. It's like a family.
Yes. So, I mean, once again, we have to strongly point out that for us, we are trying to be inclusive. Everybody has the right to form your association if you are in this industry. But once you involve Gambia in the association in the name of the Gambia, it has to be inclusive. And when we represent in bars, restaurant, and nightclub, everybody from the length and breadth of this country has to be inclusive, regardless of color, race, or religion we are in. Because this is a long overdue association. The hotel association, the hotels have their associations, the drivers in the tourist industry have, craft market have, but the only association that is not available is this association. And as Hatib has rightly said, he has given you the clear picture of what it is. So it looks like it's just a family coming in to form the association. And in this present day of Gambia, there is no way that is going to happen. Let's be correct to that. Next question.
The other part of the question was
funds. No, the funds. Now, there is a conspiracy we get. From what we've understand, this is the background of this whole thing. RBNA was formed from our information because there was a saying that UNDP has money for bars and restaurants, but it has not been tapped. So this group of, I would not call it association, this family came together, formed a group of all their restaurants, because they're all in the restaurants and bar business, and decided to make a form and tender it to the Ministry of Finance through the tourism, because it is widely believed that there is $50 that is going to be paid to the staffs of all the restaurants and bar for 3 months. The UNDP wanted to do that through Ministry of Finance, through Gambia Ministry of Tourism. So you could see that it was done in a segregated way just to benefit a group of people. So when the news came back to us, of course, this is not fair for anyone because we all suffered. If you look at the present day Gambia right now, everything is virtually open except bars, nightclubs, and restaurants. So we are the only people that is suffering from the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic to right now, and we have to obey the laws because we are all Gambian. We see the market, we see the transportation, but if you see any nightclub or restaurants or bar, they're all dusty. And we have more staffs, and it will be fair for us too to pay our staffs, not one group of people, because this money is not for Gambia. It's not for one group of people, it's for everybody. You understand? So they put their application to the Ministry of Finance. I don't know whether the money is given to them, but when we made our inquiries, they said no money has been given. But we said, okay, this is not only about money. This is about coming together on an overdue association, and then if there is money, it's good for all the staff. And UN, from what we've heard, UN are going to give it directly to the staff of 3 months' salary, which is going to help all of us and our staffs. Because the season, we've lost 3 months of the season, and the season is only 6 months. That means our staff are not going to be paid for 9 months of the season. So there's no way one family is just want to benefit the money, share it between themselves, and all the business owners within the length and breadth of the country don't get any money. That's why we engaged them and said, no, let's just all put it together so everybody could get and bring the association together. And this is the nitty-gritty of it. And we felt that they're using that. After that, they come and say they want to do an association when the news came out. So now they just put 2 cards, not 1 card, 2 cards in front of the horse. Because they should have come, all of us, because the UN is not going to deal with one individual. They are not crazy to know, to say that there's only 20 restaurants and bars in the Gambia. There's so many. So when they saw the list and GTV saw the list, they tasked them to bring back the members. Brought that. So now what they have done is they're trying to play the number game. We've wrote a petition to them. They're going through the list of all the members. We came and explained the idea, calling them and said, now come, we have to form an association. I will give you in a layman English. There's a whole group of press here. We cannot have just QTV and Kirfatu to come together, form an association, select their president, select their chairman and their treasury, and go for funds that is available through the Ministry of Information that is coming from the UN. After the news come out, now they said, okay, let's bring everybody, but we've already have our chairman. No. We have to all come together, as our able chairman, interim chairman has said, come together, do a conference, and then bring everybody and elect and go in as one group. We'll be more respected, we'll be more given the chance to, and we'll have a bigger voice. And this is what we stand for. And as I said, from what we've seen in segregation and racism in the States, in Gambia, everywhere, we're not going to stand for this. And we welcome everything. If you look at this group here, we didn't take it as only Gambian, because if an Indian comes to Gambia and open a restaurant and employs Gambia, we welcome that, because that's good for the community and is giving employment to our people. So everybody has to be included, because one way or the other, you have a stake in this industry. Does answer your question. The last one? The last question is about the treatment of our staff. Now, as I said, this group is not only about money. If the money comes, trust me, it's good, because we want it to come for our staff. But another way is to come an association. If Restaurant A has a problem of their staffs having been treated badly or not paid good, this is an association that the staffs could come and complain to us, and we see how to rectify that. Not only about money. This is an organization that if you want to open a business or a restaurant, you could come to veterans like us that has been in this business for decades to advise you on taxes, on operation, and on standard and everything. So it's not only treatment of the staff. Yes, everybody might not be happy to this occasion, to their jobs, but if you don't have a group, a media that people could come and employees could come and express themselves, there is no way forward. And this is an organization that we're trying to bring all Gambians to for things like this. I'll give you another example of, we all know that Jul Brew is closing down. One of the most tourist likable drinks in Gambia is Jul Brew. This is a way that we could come together and look forward of how to get all those things. This is a way of we could go forward to the government and say, look, our taxes are too high. We haven't operated for 3 months, but we cannot go individually. They will not hear us. So this is why we want to bring it, instead of a family just doing it, if that answers your question.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aliou Cisse. I hope he had answered all those questions, and of course you had some other contributions from Hatu and others. Any more questions from anybody? Isaiah, come forward.